Is the House of Creed done for? There's been a lot of criticism in the fragrance community over the new releases of Centaurus and Delphinus. But is it well deserved? Well, I got myself a bottle. Come back when we'll discuss it some more. Come back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video of Smell Good with Jenna. I'm, of course, Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. You know what you got to do. Like, comment, follow, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So you see in the intro, we're talking about Creed, Centaurus, and Delphinus. To be perfectly honest, this wasn't even on my radar. I actually don't own any Creed fragrances, and it's not because I don't like any of the fragrances, but I didn't find the right one yet that I wanted to pull the trigger on. And, you know, I don't buy things retail for the most part, so I had to do comparative shopping and find the right place that's gonna carry, for example, Carmina, which was on my list of fragrances to get, but I haven't really found that right price that I'm willing to pull the trigger on. And there's always other things that I want to purchase ahead of that, so I haven't really gotten around to getting any Creed fragrances. So I wanted to do a video a couple of months ago just about different releases that came out for the fall, and I decided to go into Bloomingdale's out here, and I decided to go smell Centaurus and Delphinus. When I tell you, I was truly blown away with Centaurus. I've been into this whole ambery, spicy, sweet, cinnamon type of vibe lately. So when I smelled that and smelled that this is what that scent profile was, I was immediately sold. Delphinus, on the other hand, I wasn't really, not that it was bad, it just didn't really do much for me. But Centaurus, I had to double take it, and I was like, yo, this is good. This is good. So, needless to say, we copped. And the funny thing is, listen, like I mentioned, I don't pay retail for the fragrances. The pricing, I'll tell you right now, for a 50 ml, which is what I have, is $400, and 100 ml is $545. Creed does the most when it comes to their pricing. So I wasn't going to pay full price for this, even though I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I remember, like I said, I was in Bloomingdale's and I was speaking to the sales rep, and he said, oh, are you one of those people that like to buy things online? And I'm like, yeah, you got me. And he's like, yeah, but you know, if you guys keep buying it online, and it just puts us out of business, the stores and everything like that. And I'm like, I hear you, but I got to do what's best for my pockets, which, you know, again, it's true. I hear what he's saying, and I get it. Everyone has a job. But at the end of the day, spending $500, $400, $500 for fragrances is crazy. I know that there's certain fragrances that, you know what, you got to pull the trigger on. But if I can find it for cheaper than what you guys are selling it for, and it's authentic, I gotta do me. I gotta do what's best for me. So needless to say, I wound up purchasing Centaurus from Nose Paris. If those of you that are not familiar with Nose Paris, it's a boutique overseas, I believe in France, and they had the 50 ml for $200. I don't know the conversion between euros and dollars, but it was $200 US dollars, where again, retail price in the States is $400. I'm buying. And on top of that, when you think about it, we don't pay for their taxes. And not only that, I was able to get like a $20 coupon, and I think shipping was only like, let's say $5-10. Absolutely. So I got my bottle from Nose Paris. I know there's a couple other places that are selling it now for pretty cheap, but that's the cheapest that I've seen. So I immediately pulled the trigger. When I tell you, I went into Bloomingdale's and I smelled it, fell in love, purchased it that night, and I'm sold. My first Creed bottle. So if we get into the presentation of the bottle, it's a pretty standard Creed bottle. The only thing that I find slightly different from this particular bottle is the coloring and the juice. It actually gives me Arabian vibes. I don't know if because with the scent profile too, but outside of that, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but typically you don't really see 50 ml bottles for Creed. It's typically 100, and then you have the really big ones. I don't know. I didn't need 100 ml. I have a gazillion and one fragrances in my collection, some that don't even have dents. So 50 ml was just fine for me. If we get into the notes, you have in the top cardamom, cinnamon, tobacco, and pink pepper. And in the middle, we have geranium, sandalwood, heliotrope, jasmine, and patchouli. And in the base, we have benzoin, tulip balm, tonka bean, ambroxan, and bourbon vanilla. In my opinion, I think this is a really, really good fragrance. I get that there's a certain prestige when it comes to the House of Creed, and this may not necessarily be a unique scent profile, but good is good. Don't let people deter you from trying something just because it's not groundbreaking, right? We don't need to have the most complex fragrances and wear them, just to be different. Sometimes, like I said, good is good. But with this, I really, really enjoy it. I think my taste has grown significantly in the direction of enjoying spicy, smoky type of fragrances. This is warm, it's alluring, it's sensual. This will definitely leave a trail for sure. I find that the smokiness is pretty prominent in the beginning when I first sprayed it on me, and then it went away, but then you're left with the sweetness and spiciness of cinnamon, the booziness of bourbon vanilla. I just think this is a really, really good fragrance for the cold. I was waiting for it. I was waiting to wear this for so long, just because here in New York, we've had pretty warm weather. And I know this is not necessarily a fragrance that's gonna smell really that well in that type of weather. So when I saw that the temperature drop, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta break this one out. And it did what it had to do. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. So good. As I mentioned, this leaves a trail. This lasted on me for hours. I kid you not. It was after I wore it that weekend, I decided to wash clothes, and I was sorting the clothes, or I had already sorted the clothes, and I went into my room, and then I came back, and I'm like, what smells so good? I'm like, something smells so good. And I went to pick up the clothes that I was getting ready to wash. It was this lingering, because I had the windows open and the fan, and it was in the air. This, after wearing this from a couple of days ago, this was just blowing me away in another room because the fan and the window was open. So when I tell you this is a beast, it's a beast. It's going to last hours. Obviously, when you put things on your skin, it may not last as long, but on your clothes, it will last for days. Trust me. So as always, like I do at the end of my fragrance review videos, I give my layering combo that I wore with the fragrance. Let me know if you have Centaurus, if you have a layering combo. I'm all ears. But since this is a very cinnamon forward fragrance, I started my combo with Tree Hut's limited edition Cinnamon Dolce Foaming Gel Wash, and also the Shea Sugar Scrub. This came out last year. I don't know if you can find it maybe on Amazon potentially, but starting this layering combo with some type of cinnamon body wash, lotion, or whatever will do perfectly fine for this. But I decided to go a different route from using cinnamon. My homegirl, shout out to her, Raven, she has her own shea butter line, Rae Butter Baby. And I remember buying from her a couple of years ago, I want to say during the pandemic. And I was so blown away how whipped this butter is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just so soft and whipped. And look, I don't know if you can see it, but do you not see that glow? How I'm glistening right now? That's not the light. That is literally the butter. So I'll link the website in my description. But if you're looking for like a good base, like for a lotion or a butter, check out Rae Butter Baby, because you will definitely be moisturized. She has like so many different scents: mango, vanilla, unscented, but I wanted to go with sweet tobacco and amber, obviously, because this is a fragrance that has tobacco and amber. So I thought that would be a great pairing, and it was. Like I said, this lasted all day on me. and it was just, it did its big one. Now, what I like to do typically when I first try out a fragrance, I like to wear it on its own before I start layering it with other things. But before I went out and into the wild with this, I decided to spray this Dior's Vanilla Diorama with Centaurus. And when I tell you, I'm like, oh, we got to get to this layering combo sometime soon, because I was blown away how good that was. They share similar notes of tobacco, vanilla, just beautiful pairing. And then also Parfum de Marly's Altair, another beautiful pairing with Centaurus. They share similar notes as well. Bourbon, vanilla, cinnamon, just really sexy and spicy. Beautiful. Obviously, this is a little mask leaning, so, you know, fellas, I got you. Ladies, you know, we're here. We're always here, so I got you. Don't worry about it. You're going to smell sexy and alluring and sensual in the whole nine. I got you. So that was my layering combo. So do I recommend Centaurus? Yes. It's not for everyone. If you're not into spicy, smoky type of fragrances, specifically as women, I wouldn't suggest it. Men, I think this is really good for men. But like women, if you're really into gourmands and sweetness and girly girl type of fragrances, this is not your judge. I noticed a lot of women preferred Delphinus, I think because it has an iris note and whatnot. But this was more so called my name. But you can't go wrong. I do recommend it. I would not spend $400, $500 on this at all. I gave you Nose Paris, and there's other places that you can get it well below retail. So if you can, definitely get it below retail. And that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. You know what you got to do. Like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, do you have Centaurus? Do you plan on smelling it? Do you plan on picking it up? Let me know. And always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.